as of right now, it is probably going to be difficult for her. She's in the most recent Reuters Ipsos poll, she's at 4% of registered Republicans compared to 43% for Donald Trump. By the way, in advance of her launching, Donald Trump bleated on Truth Social, Nikki has to follow her heart, not her honor. She should definitely run. So look, he kind of has belittled the idea of Ron DeSantis running against him, but I think that he doth protest too much. But when he's mocking Nikki Haley, I think he actually is fine with her running. I don't think that he particularly cares, and he probably sees it as helping to split the anti-Trump vote. Like Ron DeSantis, Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence, like I feel like their voters probably have more in common with each other than with people who are still with Trump on the Republican side. But we will see as more people run. Apparently, Tim Scott is reportedly seeking to run. We don't know when that's gonna happen. It could be tomorrow, it could be in 3 months, we don't know. But as of right now, we wanna show you Morning Consult's look at the state of this race if all of these different people ran. Donald Trump has close to half the support. Ron DeSantis is the only other person with significant with 31%. And then it drops down to Mike Pence at 7. You have a couple threes, Ted Cruz, Liz Cheney. And then after that, it drops down to like 1%. So I don't know, Trey, it really does seem like this is gonna come down to Donald Trump. Well, either definitely Donald Trump if Ron DeSantis decides not to run, or probably Donald Trump even if Ron DeSantis does decide to run. I don't see what the point of these other runs is unless it's brand building or something like that.
No, I mean, me neither. You know, the Republican Democratic primaries, like sometimes people come from out of nowhere, you know, as they get going. That's how Trump did, and then surge late. But I mean, yeah, it seemed like a 2-horse race in this one for me for a long time, and I thought that was the general consensus. I never know. I mean, like you said, I mean, except for if it's someone who no one really has heard of who runs for president and they get on the debate stage and now people have heard of them and it just boosts their image or whatever. But outside of that, like serious politicians, I don't understand why you would dive into this particular race either. But I mean, can you really call any of these people serious politicians? I'm not gonna lie though, I'm a little bit, I had been thinking and had been under the assumption that like DeSantis was closer with Trump than that, like that it was gonna be like a real knockdown drag out between the two of them, because I thought there was sort of like two Republican parties at this point. There's like, you know, the frothing MAGA contingent that were, you know, the 20 to 30% we're talking about earlier, and then the ones who are still lying to themselves that there's some semblance of like, you know, rationality and sensibility left, and you know, the party of their fathers and whatnot, and whoever they're gonna back.
I think you might still be onto something. I mean, that distribution we were just showing includes so many other candidates. I'm speculating here, but if it was just DeSantis and Trump, I feel like a lot of those other votes would go to DeSantis. It would be much closer than it looks. But we'll have to see. I mean, will Ted Cruz run? Will Mike Pence run? You know, stay tuned and find out. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.